Hello and welcome to the West Tyne Light Network. I'm Matthew Erskine. Now, our first announcement this morning, or today, is Speaker change. Newly appointed DEFRA Secretary of State, Liz Truss, will address Tyndall's farming community when she comes to Hexham in November. The conference will be called Which Way Forward, instead of going round in circles. It's all to do with discussing the new round of common agricultural policy negotiations. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Now, what's that? You see, yes, Long Legs Percy has picked up at that. You'll be getting more oats in here from the French. That's what'll happen. They'll be sending more oats in here over. You'll be getting fat. No, shaking your head? Just go back in your pen. Right, now, Mr. Ramsbottomly Everlasting writes in, I seem to be driving with only 3 wheels today, but I am not sure which of the 4 has come off. Situation. Being stuck on a roundabout at Chollerford for 25 minutes. Advice, please. Well, you could stop. Well, this next one's from you, Long Legs Percy. What are you doing writing in? Oh, you like what? Oh, well, don't mention that. Right, now, Long Legs Percy writes in, had a lovely chat with a Glaswegian expat in Edinburgh last week. He lived in Ardrossan. Upon request of some more cheerful details of his town, his reply was sincere. Nothing. But there's more. Before he disappeared back into the pub. Here we go. Now Mrs. Commoners... you thought I was going to say something bad there, didn't you, Long Legs? Yes, I saw your face light up as you thought I was going to make a fool of myself. No, you see, it's Mrs. Common as Grass in England, from Beresford. She says she prefers her new 5-door saloon to her previous hatchback. Splendid, Mrs. Common as Grass. Well, I suppose that more fire exits will be necessary if the need arises. Oh, what ho, Carruthers! Oh yes, it's Carruthers of the Empire Strikes Back. I always like hearing from Carruthers, you know. Don't know why I'm doing this daft voice. But never mind, it's what I assume Carruthers sounds like. But anyway, oh yes, old Carruthers, he drops us a line. Well, hello there at the West Tyne Light Network. I'm always listening. Don't know a word you say, I'm from south of the Wash, you see, but it seems pretty good. Now, just thought I'd drop you a line by way of a story I came across. It happened a month ago, and it was when I was attending private dinner with my commanding female officer. Well, what a sumptuous night we had. It was a spiffing dinner and a rather good drink session afterwards. But never mind, I shall get to the gist of the story. It appeared throughout the night that my commanding female officer got on rather well with her butler. Yes, she was smiling away and he kept topping up her glass. Well, at the end of the evening, we kissed and said our goodbyes, and off I went, into the night air. Well, when I got home, a few days later, I received a letter in the post. It said, I don't know if you did, and I don't know if you didn't, but my Swedish butter knife seems to have gone missing, and wondered if you know whereabouts it is. Your commanding officer. Well, I said, I wondered what the damn was going on, to be accused of such insubordination. So I wrote back to my commanding officer, and I said, I don't know if you are, and I don't know if you aren't, but if you'd slept in your bed the other night, you would know where your Swedish butter knife was. Yours sincerely, old Carruthers of the Empire Strikes Back. Well, thank you, Carruthers, and whoa, yes, I'll never be able to stop that voice, but never mind. Thank you to Carruthers. Now, we'll move, what's that? I'm getting held up something. What's that, Long Legs Percy? Yes. Look, I'm away again. Yes, yours. No, I don't want any of that. Right, back to this. we've only got half the podcast left. Only give me 10 minutes, you know. Something to do with too long to do something or other. I don't know. But Intense Tango, the roving elephant, has dropped us a line. He is still holed up in the Gisborne Phil. Apparently, he says, a detachment of the Meerkat Liberation Army have landed on the roof, armed with grub shooters. Having arrived on board a squadron of pink flamingos, who cleared the area with a bomb or two of their own, one thing and another. Thank you to Intense Tango for writing that. Now, a Mrs. Puddleton has written in from Hexham, and she sends us a little ditty. All this free parking, those councillors must have been barking. You can't get a space in the great parking race, and what a big disgrace. Thank you, Miss Puddleton, for your views on the subject. Very enlightening. It's backed up by somebody Rimple and old Marmaduke Bentley, sorry. Next. What's that? You want to say something, will you not? Now, yes. Oh, we've got a one from Mrs. I thought you'd be in touch. Mrs. Doors Open at 9 a.m. has got back. Hello, Mrs. Doors Open at 9 a.m. How's the doors close at 6 p.m. hair salon going? How's things there? I hope they're okay. But you've contacted. Now, she says, how awful are Russian sardines? Especially now they carry the can over Crimean tuna. Oh, and by the way, I'm still waiting to hear from Long Legs Percy, but I've just stopped him from speaking. Who I consider very nice, unlike you, who is like a cheap. Cheap? What do you mean, cheap? Cheap tin opener. Blunt. Well, we'll move on swiftly. Yes? What's it? Don't you sit there nodding. I can see you nodding. Anyway. Nicely named Eric. No, not Eric. Smidleybops. Miss Smidleybops has dropped us a line. As the imminent departure of Caledonia seems to get a little closer, I submit a list of the most secluded and well-hidden border crossings that should keep an underground trade link going between England and Scotland. This is possible because the Scottish mole population has decidedly come out against separation, and has widened their tunnels for the size of the average whisky bottle and a plump haggis. Thank you, Miss Smidleybops. Very well done. Yes. So how long we got? Oh, we've got less than 2 minutes to go. So, just time to read out a few of our newsreel things, things, and some of the little bits of paper come flying my way. Now, let's see. Yes. Oh, this is a nice one to start. The first customer through the door of Tom Swift's new tattoo parlour was wheelchair-bound, white-haired Doreen Avery, of 80 years of age. I love seahorses, and when I saw Tom working on getting his shop ready to open, I told him I wanted one, said the grandmother from Devizes, Wiltshire. Well, very good for you, Mrs. Doreen Avery. Now, we move to Japan. It might sound foul, but a restaurant is serving an intriguing snack for hot days. Iced chicken lollies. No, not for you, Longlegs? No, he's shaking his head. The Zenyaran Eatery says the £2.50 frozen skewers of meat in collagen gelatine are being snapped up by customers as Tokyo endures a heatwave. They say it helps their skin. Well, I'll leave that up to them, but never mind. And finally, a punter fed up with waiting for a turn on a pub slot machine forced another customer to stop playing by threatening them with a gun, flick knife and a knuckle duster. Walter Manfred, 73, was arrested by police who found more weapons, all illegal, at his home in Silavegna, and I apologise to all the residents of that most beautiful town if I pronounced it wrong. But we're nearly at the end. And that was it for part 1 of West Tyne Light Network with me, Matthew Erskine. Of course, you can catch part 2 that will be coming up very shortly. And it was me who produced this programme. Goodbye.